Penguicon 2013, Saturday, 2 p.m. Arduino sensors. Two? Yeah, two.
Not recent.
Don't unplug the television.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Actually, is this guy in this anymore? Yes, that guy's still plugged in. That guy's going to, I don't know what that guy's going to, but it's in use.
The vinyl cut?
No, the vinyl, oh wait, is it? Good question.
This guy's
Yeah, it's plugged back here.
with the direction.
Rather than go from light bulb to light sensor, make it
built a
They built a mess apparently. They don't have it hooked up to the Arduino. They got a little relay here, so that's temperature control.
yeah, I mean, I think if we run into it,
Running a heat box and using a 100-watt light bulb
for a lot of
heat it up. So I use their Arduino to track the temperature of the light bulb.
Still, there's some driver issue I think that's still preventing it from working.
This is when we start talking, I'm thinking about what different applications in cold weather, right? Yeah. Or in cold weather climates. One trick that you can do to keep your pipes from freezing.
I think it's a lot of like started.
It's not a driver. You put a lamp next to it. 100-watt bulb. But you could use so rather than running all the time. Yeah. You could there are some misters you can get rather than just a little thing like this right here. Strip that you can take down on the
Selling drivers.
So if you have that taped directly to the pipe, then you can sense exactly how hot the is. Yes. Or how cold.
All those.
What's the shield for, particularly?
I forgot my whole shield.
Yeah, the shields with the Arduino, they allow you to expand on stuff, so like motor shields and just like experimental shields and Wi-Fi shields and Ethernet shields and RFID shields and various things we can start plugging into the base Arduino things from.
I couldn't find a reliable reference as
How
to
would you use it to make your own
how to pull the correct temperature.
Is that just kind of
I mean,
Difference in
so
voltage, depending on the thermistor, they have different
I mean, like it depends on what you're describing. Like you could probably. So what a shield is another complex thing that has like little male female plugs that plug into slots in the board, and you can start messing with it there. So if you had a very basic one like that, where all like almost like another breadboard and the plugins, probably smart. If you were making like an RFID shield, like
It's just a curve, I grabbed that thing.
okay. So
So this class is going to take the form of a workshop. We're basically just going to walk through some basic tutorials, talk about sensors, what you can do with them, and then answer any questions you have.
And I have a few sensors to show off. We run into an hour format. We can't necessarily hook them all up, but I can explain what exists and what they do, and how easy the various ones are to hook up. Actually, I'll grab those while you start.
plug and play expansion.
Really? Yeah. They bought one experiment. Basic, that's just
So you don't need any shields to really get going and get to know the programming.
We can watch it on my YouTube later. We can watch it on my YouTube later.
I think we should just take the doors off of that closet and mount them on the wall over there. And then we can see.
Yeah, or just open up the closet.
Is that where you want to sit, or?
He was saying you should use the closet doors so that we have a mirror so we can see.
Hackerspace, they could probably take the mirror off and reuse it for some other purpose, right?
But I think there's enough people in here with tablets or things with webcams on them. Mount those on the wall.
Yeah, maybe what we need to do is get someone with a, laptop here. I can take my laptop out, shine the camera over there, and then bring the screen here and you can watch it that way. Do we have another problem here? It sounds funny, but that's what I'm going to do. See how that works. So I'm going to hold that, just point it randomly at things that look interesting.
Okay, so for everybody that's got a laptop and an Arduino, we are going to start with just the first TV. Okay, well, like a personal computer and an Arduino. We're just going to start off with the first tutorial, which is turning a light and LED on and off. So you need your Arduino board and an LED.
We should have the basics to that.
Right. No problem. So, make sure you follow these instructions.
And most Arduinos will already come with a base, like if you plug a light in, it'll already be like if you plug it in, like the base code that it comes with. So this is in a way resetting that code.
Okay, do we really care what the resistor is? It's gonna make a significant difference.
The resistor? Actually, for now, I don't think they really need a resistor. Like, it's good, but it's not needed.
Okay.
You don't worry about the resistor for now.
Don't worry
It's-
about using the resistor.
It's good practice because in the long run it'll keep the light bulb from burning out too much, but for now it's good not to bother. You won't.
That's more or less what you wanted, isn't it?
Are we supposed to route it 13?
Just the USB cable is fine. There's no USB cable.
There's no USB cable. No.
There is too long.
I'm not sure.
I sure as hell don't have one of those. And we don't have power sources either.
You don't need it. You get one power from the board.
Yeah? Good.
You get the super long one.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that is something to remember, like what we're going to show is going to involve the Arduino still plugged into the laptop. But what you've done is you put this, I mean, I might be saying stuff. You're putting the code on the Arduino, so now if you want to plug it, you just plug it to a battery supply or to a wall unit, like a wall port supply. It just works. It's not dependent on the laptop. The laptop.
Theoretically, you may have to start the. Yeah. Go ahead. Okay. Well, pick a different one. Okay, close it out and restart it. And let me actually unplug and replug this in.
So what he's doing is he's going to Arduino CC, and you can see the base code there. At the same time, in the Arduino program, if you go to File and then Examples, The basics one has the blink sketch, and that's like the hello world Arduino where you're making a little light bulb blink. Basically,
So it's this.
So you just go to blink?
Yes,
Under
and the final
examples.
examples blink.
Then you're gonna want to verify.
And we started with the basic one first because you're all probably going to have issues with COM port, like not speaking to the right port. That's what happens a lot. So once you have, like once you've gone to file examples and open the blink one, try running it and then try uploading it. The check mark
Now it's on COM 4.
run it and check to see if everything's okay. Everything should be okay. And then once it's linked to your Arduino,
Still.
push it with the other arrow. And you might get an error warning like this, serial port not found. Did anyone get that?
Yeah.
Look onto it and you should have like a few options.
Yeah, ACM 0.
Oh, you're using your own computer.
If you don't have the software,
Arduino.cc.
and we're not sure if we have wireless in this room.
So you don't have wireless unless you have you're a guest in a hotel and you have a guest.
Yeah, we thought there on wireless.
I don't know. Log into that though, because I'm not in this.
Alright, yeah, I got a link in there.
So you might have to just walk
Now there is a access point named TTT or something.
Is there a net?
Oh, what? An outlet?
It'll be okay for now.
That one's
I don't know. I didn't see that.
both plugs.
Maybe. Okay, sweet.
Nope.
Steady here, so.
Now I got it.
Okay.
It's a way
Fairly slow, but
Basic links
I think you want to
stand,
stand, sit over
and it does work.
What is it, ground in 13?
Yeah, ground at 13. You might have it in backwards if it's not blinking.
Okay, the long one is ground?
The legs already split out a
The
bit.
long one should
Oh
be
no, one with it right next to each other.
That's why I got it. That's the problem.
Well, the pin 13 and ground are right next to each other.
Is anyone else? So you got yours working.
No, it's still on much lower power.
it won't be real fast, but I can set up a hotspot with this.
Well, I
Or
mean,
turn on a
I wouldn't worry
hotspot.
too much about getting it exactly working because it's hour long and we can't get into it in detail. We're going to show the basics and then when you're by the
Explore at
Penguicon
your
stuff.
leisure.
Yeah. And we do like, I mean, these are usually 4-hour workshops at AHA and then our so. Should we explain a little bit about what's going on? Like, who here is a coder? Like, who here programs? Okay. So you
Badly.
like even badly, like now you have a light bulb that you are controlling through some sort of code. You have variables that you have at the start. You have a setup where you start doing things like declaring which pins are input and output, and then you have the loop, and that's what's defining what's going on. So right now, it's turning the light bulb on at high, waiting 1,000 milliseconds or something, 1,000, turning the light bulb low, repeat, and you can start doing things like changing that number so that the light bulb links in different ratios, for loops so it changes over time, or you can touch it with sensors.
Right, so.
Did you have any? Is yours, do you have Arduino and stuff? Do you want to maybe like help upload to
Yeah.
Oh, well, so the next step you
And
do.
you can make it speed so up that it kind of.
Oh, you changed it, yeah.
Do we have a switch?
You don't see the gap.
So it's on for 2 seconds and off for that.
Yeah, so if you have an access point, we could try that. If you have an access point, we could try that.
Well, it'll
It
work.
looked like that when you programmed it.
It's already uploaded.
So, you know, or the.
Oh, okay.
And it's not doing it anymore. Well, hit the reprogram button and watch. This will flash while you do that.
So this one was working for it.
Because the LED blinks while it's.
Okay.
Does anyone else have luck getting
Showing
the
it
LED
this
light
world,
bulb blinking?
and
You got
the
yours,
password.
okay. And now you're messing with the code, you're seeing. And the idea is like
If your
even
mouse pointer was still
even
there,
this
you may have
first
rushed it
entry
and
level
stuck.
step, there's a lot
I'm
of
not saying
creative,
things
interesting
like
stuff you can start doing and thinking about where this could go. Oh, it's not working. Okay.
You want to just type it in for me?
So the next one we're going to look into is a basic button. The idea is that a button that could conceptually connect to
We can switch this around, this has got a long cable.
Yeah.
And this one requires this is where, so the first one we showed, you're just sticking stuff into the Arduino itself. That's not really a good method because then you have all these wires hanging off the Arduino and it's not organized. You want to put stuff onto a breadboard or an outside device.
Does this change the
For reasons of organization and access.
went away on this side, should
Organization, I mean, long-term
it won't be
thinking,
real
like I
fast.
haven't never got to this step, but you could start thinking of you're gonna make maybe an Eagle schematic and actually make an actual board out of it. Like, Grinnell up there, they made another tag this year, that's the Arduino tag. So they're way beyond what I know. I know artistic stuff. So what he's showing right now is the fake. So what that first one was a digital out through the LED. This one's kind of like a digital in the sense that you're using a button to give it a signal. And then for this one, it's under File, Examples, Inputs, which I think is the second one down. And it's pinned to 5-volt and ground.
I'm sorry, under examples, examples?
File, the second one down, I think it's called Inputs.
Digital?
Digital, yeah. And then there should be one called Button.
Yeah, there is, thank you.
And for now, even like if you can't, if you have Arduino on your laptop, it's good to just kind of look at this and then you can look through the code and see what it should be doing. Because that's half of, you're going to spend as much time looking at the code as you are with the wiring.
Everybody has a flash drive. I'll have the
Switch, I think we want a button.
Well,
We don't have a button, okay.
we did use the button earlier.
Right.
So we'll just use the switch to call it button.
This is always like, the first part is just getting everyone having Arduino and getting it so everyone doesn't have the COM port errors. And then when you get into more advanced stuff, and well, not even that advanced, but just
You guys do little workshops at.
yeah, at All Hands Active every, I think it's the second week of the month, we do a bigger workshop. I mean, we have tables, we have a room, we have all the electronics and extra sensors. And we go through the same basics. We go through Hello World, Light Bulb, but
Do you guys charge for that, or is it just kind of?
we charge, but not too much, like $15. And we've actually pondered, because we compare just hacker space in Minneapolis, they charge $50. So,
Did you give up on it, or?
wow, we think we're severely undercharging, but
In which case, I'll turn this off. It does suck battery.
Red, black, orange, or red, black, something like.
I'm confused why the black and white wire are right.
They're not. Some of the stuff you'll see on, like, as a warning, don't ever follow Arduino's examples or schematics word for word, because half the time they're kind of fucked up. Like, their libraries end up out of date. The wirings no longer make sense. They'll have things on. This one's meant to be like a best practices thing. That way you're attaching the grounds and the voltage across it entirely. So if you move on to a next project, they'll still be like that. But if you don't realize that, then we'll have people follow up word for word. They're like, why is it doing that? Yes.
My mother has an attachment for buttons on
I'm not gonna fry this thing if I connect the voltage
Don't worry too
backwards.
much. Like, it's pretty hard to actually try it. Try not to put don't put a wire between 5-volt and the digital input. But
Okay, the question here is, negative goes to ground? Negative goes to ground?
yes.
Okay, thank you. That will do it.
And I don't fully understand the way the circuit works, but at the same time, like, you can do variations on this and still have it work. If that makes sense. You're basically doing some sort of signal process. Two. But once again, you don't have to go to 2. I mean, the 2 is just an example of the code. If you change the variable in the Arduino sketch, it can be 3, it can be 4. Mostly. There are some points where you can do other sensors that do require certain port ports on the Arduino because there's other things, whether they're PLA or PLC or things like that.
So poke the button.
Is it working?
Hey!
Did you get it? So now you have, okay, so he has it working with a button.
What's this guy?
It should be under example. Oh, so if anyone else wants Arduino, it should be under and it has Windows. Anyone else want Arduino on his Windows? Did you?
No, I had, I'm not, I already have it.
Well, if anyone wants it, we have it.
Come in, press the button.
I don't know. I mean, you can actually. So there are fun.
I have it
things.
on the go cable, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can do some fun stuff where you can record processing that while it makes it that way. But I'm not sure what other people. Okay, cool. Now, I'd say. So for the two guys who got the button working, well, you got it totally hooked up with an LED. Try to get it hooked up to an LED too. Pretty actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or just. So a fun thing to do with this is now, great, you have a button that turns the LED on, maybe make it so the button one press does something, whereas a long press does something else, versus two presses does something else. I mean, you can start thinking of interesting interfaces just with a button and an LED. Like, what other things could it do?
How do you determine whether it's long press or not?
But I know you can't, I just don't know. Yeah, you can do it.
You'd need to start a timer when the button was pressed, and then an event if the timer expires.
I know we're on digital. Button.
But this session is supposed to be about
We're reversing like this. So that
Okay, that's 10 minutes long.
Yeah,
You tired of holding that now?
How's everyone doing?
They got it.
What you got for this?
This is the Arduino for file examples in digital.
Okay, are you making a blink now? Yeah, we just flipped it. Okay. So it's being by default off.
I think we should do a photo sensor.
Yeah, just
So this was the hello world. This was like the light blinking. Now you have an input and you have an output. So now we're going to do a sensor of some sort. We're going to do a photo sensor, and this is like a really base one. All these something that detects the light levels in the room or the light levels around the device, and it's going to turn it into. Actually,
same thing 30 years ago.
should we do do the sensors? I can do a lot. This might even be one that has ratings right now.
No, it really doesn't. Well, not just Arduino like Intel microprocessors.
It's a fun thing, like almost. If you think of the project, Arduino probably has a tutorial example like it already. If Arduino does not itself, there's a lot of good websites that show it. Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Well, there's actually air conditioning in here if we close the door.
I'm assuming that these rows solid through this column, not, well, these are, those are the contacts across the road, this is solid, so what I really would have wanted to do is, you use that as the ground.
Yeah. What, slot?
Right. So they can go into that group or one of these above. Same results.
Yep.
Thinking be careful about the light. So it's not on most of the time.
That's even smaller.
Also now you have a pottometer in there. Can you turn it so that it gives you?
It's not hooked up to anything.
Oh.
We just stuck it in because we were bored.
Oh,
This one's supposed to make it so that you can change the blink rate, I think, and put that in the box.
okay. Oh, that'd be really cool. That'd be cool. Cool thing.
You're still gonna have to set up to stay inside the panel, so I don't have to worry about solving.
Oh, ACM?
ACM 0.
It's one of the choices.
Okay, I think the one, and I could be wrong, but I believe the one we're gonna look at next is under examples. So file, examples, analog serial, analog in out serial.
Analog in out serial?
Yep, the top one. And the idea is that we're going to use one of the analog inputs to give an output to one of the pins. And actually, so the code gives you 9. I'm just going to change that to 13 because that way you can use an LED. Well, wait. Actually, the reason it does 9 is because I'm doing 11. That way, it's closer to the ground. It's specifically putting in 11 because certain pins on the Arduino are PWM. It means the light can fade. So whereas most of them can just kind of do an on and off. Or you can do other things where you can make it fake, a fade system. The ones that have the little wavy line next to them are better for doing.
It's like going up high.
Yeah.
Okay.
But since I'm looking at it from the angle,
I think all you're gonna do. I think it's another one that can be almost just plugged in.
Okay, so this doesn't need a breadboard. Yeah.
No, I think this one can just be done by having your photosensor between the ground and A0.
Which is?
And
Photosensor goes ground to 0. Yeah, I get that here.
I could be wrong, so if it messes up, that's
I think
why.
they're saying,
We're using the photosensor as the input.
well,
Doors closed. Please don't come in that way.
the LED being
nice. 12.
The resistors there. So
That's for the
burn out the LED.
lead out.
Or these.
Oh, I think he said we're on 22, 23.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know if it's working.
We're gonna run out of wires.
Yep.
It is though, well,
Actually, I don't know which side needs to go where.
I changed when you did that?
yeah, see, it's not 5 It's fine.
Yeah, and then
You got old. So down is probably just not.
24, 25 looks like. 25 is the range, or the longer one.
on the website. Yeah. And then we need. Nope. I think we have your light subject. Yeah. That's the light subject. I don't know my box if there's an element. No, that's not human.
11, I think.
Yeah.
So
Is always run at the beginning.
I think.
output.
Oh, that's also Watson.
And loop continues indefinite. So you don't call it, it's just there. Sign names, this is the behavior you're gonna get. Since always, you read setup first, do what it says.
So is this what he changed to 12?
Yes.
I think so.
Output value output to the PWN. No, don't change that. We need the output pin.
Fielding that.
So it's
No, somebody, it's a Japanese.
9J.
I'm gonna cheat and do something else.
Somebody, okay, serious.
Was going
I mean, this, You can write anything you want, call it.
It's not a magic spell.
The loop controls everything, so.
Is that a light sensor? Is that what you're putting on there?
Well, I'm seeing if it's. I'm a little confused on if it's not working or if it's.
I wonder if you're not shielding your photodiode
That
enough.
too, and it might be something.
You might try
Okay.
just kind of pinching it with your fingers so it's clear in the dark.
Okay, so I'm not sure what's wrong with the light sensor, but for example, this is another sensor. This is a microphone sensor.